What if your entire day, your mindset, your success, was decided in the first 10 minutes after waking up? What if winning your morning meant mastering your entire life? Let me ask you, do you wake up with purpose or with resistance? Do you control your mornings, or do they control you? Are you rising with discipline or hitting snooze on your potential? If you've ever felt like your mornings start in chaos or drift aimlessly, you're not alone. But you're not powerless. The ancient Stoics, think Marcus Aurelius, Epictetus, Seneca, left behind a blueprint for how to start your day like a warrior of the mind. Before we begin, hit that subscribe button. This channel is your home for mastering your mind, one habit at a time. Let's get into how to conquer your mornings using Stoic wisdom, rebuilt for the modern world. 1. The first choice: rise or retreat. Every morning, whether we realize it or not, we face a decision that shapes the tone of our entire day. It's quiet. It doesn't come with a drum roll or fanfare. It happens in the silence between sleep and waking, when your alarm rings and you must decide, do you rise with purpose or do you retreat back into the warmth of your bed? This is more than a decision about comfort, it's a symbolic choice. Will you begin the day with discipline or with delay? Will you meet life head-on or hide from it for a little while longer? Marcus Aurelius, the Stoic emperor, faced the same struggle. In Meditations, he reminds himself, at dawn when you have trouble getting out of bed, tell yourself, I have to go to work as a human being. He recognized that the pull of comfort is strong, but the call to duty must be stronger. You were not born to hide under warm blankets. You were born to act, to contribute, to think, to create, to face life. And so, the first battle of the day is not against the world. It's not against traffic or emails or difficult co-workers, it's against inertia. That mental and physical resistance in the morning, that's your first opponent. And how you face it sets a precedent. If you surrender to the comfort of your bed, what else will you surrender to during the day? Will you delay a difficult conversation? Avoid a workout? Put off that important project? That first choice is a mirror. It reflects the pattern of your decision-making. Train your mind like a muscle, and muscles grow stronger with repetition and resistance. Think of elite athletes, soldiers, or even monks. Their day begins with discipline, not desire. Not because they enjoy discomfort, but because they understand its purpose. Each time you get up when you don't feel like it, you build self-respect. Each time you resist the urge to retreat, you reinforce your willpower. You don't need to become a robot or wake up at 4 a.m. every day. This isn't about productivity hacks or bragging rights. It's about ownership. Starting your day with intention tells your subconscious, I am in charge. That message will echo throughout the day when you face setbacks, temptations, or fatigue. So tomorrow morning, when your alarm goes off and that warm blanket begs you to stay, pause, take a breath, and remember, this is not just about getting out of bed. It's about stepping into your life with purpose. You're not retreating from the day, you're rising to meet it. Make that first decision count. Rise, not just from your bed, but into your calling. 2. Embrace stillness before the storm. Before the world rushes in with its demands and distractions, you have a window, a brief golden opportunity to claim your mind. Most people waste it. They reach for their phones before they even sit up. Notifications flood in. Their minds are hijacked before their feet hit the floor. But the Stoics lived differently. They treated the morning as sacred, not in a religious sense, but in a practical one. They knew the value of beginning the day with clarity, not chaos. For them, stillness wasn't luxury, it was necessity. Stillness doesn't require an hour-long meditation retreat. It can be 5 minutes of intentional presence. Sit in silence. Close your eyes. Feel your breath move in and out. Notice the sensations in your body. Let your thoughts come and go without grabbing onto them. This simple practice becomes your mental armor. In the stillness, you remind yourself who you are and what you stand for. You set your intention for the day rather than letting the world set it for you. The storm is coming. Emails, social media, traffic, conversations, deadlines, they'll all be there. But for now, you have a moment to prepare. You're not reacting to the day yet. You're rehearsing your mindset. In his writings, Seneca advised starting each day by reflecting on what might lie ahead. Not in fear, but in readiness. He believed that forewarned is forearmed. The mind, like a fortress, needs to be reinforced before the siege begins. And it's not just preparation, it's preservation. In that morning stillness, you reconnect with your values. You remember that you don't have to respond to every message instantly. You don't have to be dragged by the tide of urgency. You can choose what matters. That awareness is power. Modern life trains us to be constantly stimulated, to wake up and scroll, to consume before we create. But the Stoics teach the opposite. Begin by turning inward. In the quiet, you hear your true self. You discover clarity not through motion, but through meaning. Even if your schedule is packed, even if your house is noisy, you can find a sliver of silence. You can step outside for a breath of air. You can sit in your car for 1 minute before walking into work. The stillness is always available if you make space for it. So tomorrow morning, don't let the world grab you before you grab your own. Attention, pause, breathe, set your mind like a compass. That stillness is your strength and your shield. 3. Visualize what could go wrong and be ready. It sounds strange, doesn't it? Imagining everything that could go wrong as a way to start your day. Most people try to avoid thinking about negatives. They chase positivity, optimism, and good vibes only. But the Stoics embraced a different approach, one of grounded realism. They practiced something called premeditatio malorum, or the premeditation of evils. They would visualize things going wrong, not to become anxious, but to become prepared. Why? Because life is unpredictable. Coffee spills, traffic jams, disagreements, rejections, delays, illness. The Stoics knew that if you imagined these possibilities ahead of time, you could meet them with calm, not surprise. If you expect perfection, every inconvenience feels like an insult. But if you anticipate setbacks, you greet them like familiar guests. They lose their sting. You don't collapse. You adapt. This practice doesn't take long. Each morning, ask yourself, what could go wrong today? Then go one step further. How will I respond with wisdom and strength? Maybe your meeting will get canceled. You'll say, I'll use the extra time to focus. Maybe someone criticizes your work. You'll say, I'll listen for truth and let go of ego. Maybe your plans fall apart. You'll say, flexibility is part of mastery. By rehearsing adversity, you strip it of its power. You're not caught off guard. You're calmly aware. You've already seen this scenario in your mind and prepared your response. There's another gift hidden in this exercise: gratitude. When you imagine losing something, your health, your job, your loved ones, you return to the present with renewed appreciation. What once felt ordinary becomes extraordinary. The warm coffee, the quiet drive, the kind word. You see them all as gifts, not givens. Marcus Aurelius put it plainly. When you arise in the morning, think of what a privilege it is to be alive, to breathe, to think, to enjoy, to love. But that sense of privilege comes more easily when you've imagined its absence. So as you begin each day, don't just hope for the best. Prepare for the worst. Not out of fear, but out of strength. Meet the day with open eyes and a steady heart. You are capable of facing more than you think. And when the unexpected arrives, you won't be shaken. You'll be ready. 4. Control the controllable. Here's one of the most liberating Stoic truths. You don't control everything, but you always control your response. This idea is deceptively simple, but once internalized, it can completely change the way you experience your life. The core of Stoic wisdom is the division between what's within your control and what's not. Epictetus, one of the great Stoic teachers, wrote in the Enchiridion, "Some things are in our control and others not." And this distinction is not meant to be a philosophical curiosity, it is a way of living. So what exactly do we control? According to Stoic philosophy, we control our thoughts, judgments, beliefs, intentions, and actions. That's it. We don't control outcomes, other people, nature, or the flow of time. We don't control our past, and we don't fully control the future. But we always control how we engage with what is happening right now. You can't choose how others act. People may insult you, ignore you, or fail to live up to expectations. That is out of your hands. The weather may ruin your plans. Your inbox may be overflowing. Your phone may buzz with chaotic headlines. But you still have a choice. You can choose how to respond. Each morning, take a moment to draw a mental line. This is in my hands. That is not. This mental exercise sets the tone for your day. You might find it helpful to make a quick list. Column A, my thoughts, words, and actions. Column B, everything else. This practice grounds you in reality and strips away the illusion of control. Direct your energy only where it matters. Your thoughts, your actions, your attitude. This is where power lives. When you focus your attention on what is within your sphere of control, you reclaim agency over your life. You're no longer pushed around by circumstances or emotionally hijacked by things that shouldn't have that power over you. This doesn't mean apathy. Letting go of what you can't control doesn't mean you stop caring. It means you care wisely. You can still vote, strive for justice, plan a trip, or raise your voice. But you do so with the understanding that outcomes are not guaranteed. You focus on the effort, not the results. And when the results don't match your hopes, you don't spiral. You adjust, reflect, and return to your center. Here's a powerful question to ask when faced with difficulty. Is this within my control? If the answer is yes, take action. If the answer is no, let it go. Not with resentment, but with peace. Letting go of what you can't control isn't weakness, it's strength. It's the strength of choosing not to waste your limited energy fighting battles you were never meant to win. It's the strength of showing up fully, knowing that your response is the only battlefield that truly belongs to you. The Stoics weren't naive. They didn't live in a peaceful, predictable world. They lived in a time of war, exile, slavery, and plague. Yet they practiced this mindset every day. Marcus Aurelius, a Roman emperor burdened with immense responsibility and hardship, wrote in his private meditations, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." So the next time you feel overwhelmed, angry, anxious, or stuck, ask yourself, am I clinging to something I don't control? Am I trying to steer the wind instead of adjusting my sails? Control the controllable. Let the rest be. That is where freedom lives. 5. Choose virtue over urgency. The world will scream for your attention. Notifications buzz, deadlines loom. Everyone wants something from you, now. But in the midst of all this urgency, Stoicism whispers something else. Live by your values, not your calendar. The Stoics taught that we should root our lives in 4 cardinal virtues: wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance. These aren't abstract ideals. They are practical tools. They are shields against the chaos of modern life. Wisdom means knowing what matters. It's choosing the long term over the short term. It's resisting the pull of distractions so you can focus on what is meaningful. Courage means showing up. It's telling the truth when lying would be easier. It's facing discomfort, not avoiding it. Courage is required not just in grand moments, but in everyday ones. Speaking kindly when you're tired, taking responsibility when you fail, starting again when you stumble. Justice means doing what is right, not what is easy, not what is popular. It means treating people with fairness and dignity, even when no one is watching. Temperance is moderation. It's the wisdom of enough. It's saying no when the world pushes you to say yes to everything. It's slowing down, being present, and avoiding extremes. These virtues form the foundation of a meaningful life. But they don't appear automatically. You have to choose them, especially when urgency knocks on your door. Ask yourself each morning, how can I live virtuously today? Before you check your inbox, before you scroll through social media, before the world pulls you into 1,000 directions, anchor yourself. How can I be honest when it's hard, calm when it's stressful, kind when it's not returned? That's a different tempo than the world offers. It's not rushed. It's not reactive. It's steady, grounded, and noble. Living by virtue doesn't mean ignoring your responsibilities. It means aligning them with what really matters. It means choosing substance over speed, depth over breadth, presence over productivity. You can still be ambitious, you can still pursue goals, but you do it as a human being, not a machine. You lead with values, not just urgency. And when the day ends, ask yourself, did I act with wisdom? Did I show courage? Did I serve justice? Did I practice temperance? This daily examination builds character, and over time, that character builds a life that feels right, regardless of how busy the world becomes. 6. Seal the morning. Guard your mind. Before your morning ends, seal it like a vault. Your morning is a sacred space. It is when your mind is clearest, your spirit calmest, your thoughts unshaped by the noise of the day. But if you're not careful, this precious window can be hijacked by emails, headlines, and social media scrolls. The Stoics understood the importance of starting the day on purpose. Marcus Aurelius began his mornings with meditations, grounding himself before stepping into the whirlwind of politics and leadership. He wrote not for others, but for himself, a kind of spiritual armor. We can do the same. Before your morning slips away, close the mental gate. Reflect on who you are and what you stand for. Before the world tries to define it for you, use affirmations. Say to yourself, I am calm. I am resilient. I live with intention. Use journaling. Ask yourself, what do I want to stand for today? Or what mindset do I choose to carry forward? Or simply choose one powerful phrase to anchor your day. It could be a Stoic quote. It could be a word like clarity or grace. Let it echo in your mind when challenges arise. This ritual seals your morning with intention. It builds an inner fortress. When the world pushes in, when criticism comes, when urgency strikes, you are not defenseless. You have already chosen your direction. Your first moments were intentional. Let the rest of your day be a ripple from that center of calm. When others rush, you can stay grounded. When others react, you can respond. You have already rehearsed your principles. Marcus Aurelius knew the tranquility that comes when you stop caring what they say or think or do. Only what you do. That is mastery. That is inner peace. So before your morning ends, protect your mindset. Set your tone. Choose your path. Seal the vault. And then step into your day, not as a victim of noise, but as the quiet source of strength that others wonder about. Mornings, make the master to win. Your morning is to win your life. Not because everything will go perfectly, but because you will face it with purpose. You've now learned the Stoic rituals. Wake with intention. Embrace stillness. Visualize adversity. Control what's yours. Choose virtue, guard your inner world. Now the question is, will you act on them tomorrow morning, or will you let another day slip by? If this resonated with you, subscribe and share it with someone who needs to hear it. Start tomorrow, like a Stoic, and watch your life transform, one morning at a time.